This episode of Talking Strong Style with the Switch Babe goes out to Ashley Massaro, a huge inspiration of mine in life, who made me feel like it was okay to be a punk rock goth chick and made me feel loved and inspired when I was sick, and was a friend on Facebook and was just an amazing, beautiful human being. I love you forever, Ashley, and my heart goes out to your daughter, to your family, and to everyone that you've ever touched. This world lost a kind, gracious, beautiful soul, and I just want you to know that I love you, and that I know that you're lighting a fire in heaven that is so bright, it's brighter than the sun. I love you. Rest in peace, Ashley.
If not us, who? And if not now, when?
The following is an EHC media production. Hey guys, the King/Queen of the Mic tournament is officially underway, and I gotta say, it's gonna be super exciting. I've already seen a couple of promos. I mean, I got my favorite and who I think is gonna win, but who do you guys think is gonna win? We'll see. Make sure you tune in over at maxwrestling.net and the Max Wrestling Interactive page and RWT, and see competitors like Moni Lynn, Robert Davis, Courtney Summers, Mike C. Larkin, Travis the Walker Anderson, Daniel Crimmins, Ted P. De Niro. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And you gotta wonder, maybe the smart Mark, Moses Marquez, will emerge as the winner. Either way it goes, make sure you stay tuned in.
We'll be kings and queens. We'll walk these city streets forever.
Every switchblade needs his switch babe.
Hello, guys. How are y'all doing today? This is episode 4 of Talking Strong Style with the Switch Babe. I'm your Switch Babe, Courtney Summers, and today's show is going to be pretty exciting. We're going to be discussing New Japan Best of the Super Juniors, nights 1 through 3. We're going to be talking Killer Cross and Impact at an impasse, and we're also going to discuss AEW on TNT, which is huge news. And this week we've got one question for Ask the Switch Babe, which I've just got to say right now, I want you to be interactive. I want you to ask me your questions, and if you feel like you just have a comment, that can go under Ask the Switch Babe as well. Like, if you want to have a comment and I can, give you my thoughts on what you said, let's get interactive. Let's make this fun. Let's make this something that can be fun and enjoyable for all of us, because that's the end goal of this show, is to be something that's a little bit more bright, a little bit more fun, a little bit more positive, and take it in that direction. So next week, don't let me down, guys. Send me in your questions, send me in your comments, your thoughts, anything. And with that being said, we're going to start with the Best of the Super Juniors. And night 1 was amazing from top to bottom. And if I were you, I would check out these 3 matches from night 1. I would check out Marty Scurll and Jonathan Gresham. That match was amazingly done. You know, both guys are very good at the legit catch wrestling style. And so if that's your fancy, you're going to love this match. Also, Shingo Takagi and Sho, they put on an amazing fire match. Like I said on Twitter, I may have said this on Twitter, or I may have said this to myself, not sure. This is what happens when you're on little sleep and your New Japan tour sleep deprived. But Sho and the Dragons, this tour, have been amazing. Like, the Dragons are bringing out the Dracarys in Sho, and it's amazing to see. Shingo and Sho just went at it, and it was fantastically done. And you know, that's a match that you need to check out. Also, Ishimori and Dragon Lee, round of applause to both of them. They put on a great match, and hopefully you'll want to check that out. And you know, like, I want to say this about Dragon Lee right now. This tour, he is bringing out the best in every competitor he steps in that ring with. It's just amazing to see. It's like they automatically step up their game just because he's in there, because he's that respected and that loved. I mean, even Hiromu Takahashi did a drawing book of the competitors, and when it got to Dragon Lee, he just had one word: love. And it shows that Dragon Lee is loved and he is adored by by the talent in New Japan, because they do bring their A game for him and they step it up a notch, and it's just amazing to see. And night 1 was a lot of fun. It was just brilliant work by these juniors who can get in there and they can fly around and just do these insane maneuvers that just boggle your mind, and you're sitting here like, how in the hell did somebody not die just now? So moving on to night 2, we had Will Ospreay versus Bushi, and this match was once again just amazing. And hats off to both Bushi and Will Ospreay. Yes, Bushi isn't having that great of a tournament as far as point standings go, but he is putting on great matches every single night. He's not just showing up and clocking in and doing the bare minimum. He is going out there and he's going balls to the wall. So, you know, Bushi and Will Ospreay, I would definitely check out as well. Then we had Taguchi and Yo, which I am a little bit mad at Gato on this one, because Yo really, in the fans' eyes and a lot of eyes in the industry, you know, like, Sho is the other guy in Roppongi 3K, and Sho is more the star and more, you know, respected. And for him to go out there and lose to freaking Taguchi, like, I get it. Taguchi is a legend. I respect him for his legendary status. But you have Yo, who has come back with this new gimmick, the trunks, basically the new look and a kind of a new attitude. You have him come out and you have him lose to Taguchi. Like, that's not really setting up your rebooted Yo for a lot of, you know, success. And I would hope that New Japan would start to focus on a resurgence for Yo as well as Sho, because both of those guys are extremely talented, very charismatic, And, you know, I just want the best for both of them. So that was my only problem this night, was Taguchi going over my boy Yo. And we had El Phantasmo versus Bandito. And this match was phenomenal from bell to bell, just wild and crazy. And you've got El Phantasmo and his antics, flipping off babies, you know, giving the fans hell. And it's just amazing to see. And I am thrilled to have El Phantasmo in the Bullet Club, because he does have a very Finn Balor, or Prince Devitt as we knew him in New Japan, vibe about him, with the light up jacket and the I just don't give a fuck attitude. It's just amazing to see, as someone who has been there since Fale and Devitt, to see the club truly go back to its roots of that attitude of, we're here to make Shin Nihon's life a living hell. And it's just brilliant. And El Phantasmo, I adored him before he was going to join the Bullet Club, and now I love him even more. So you should definitely check that one out. And we had Robbie Eagles versus Rocky Romero. And Rocky Romero, coming back for the Super Juniors, he has shined bright like the amazing star that he is. He has gone in there and he has performed every single night, bar none. He has just taken his game and took it to 3,000, baby. He just, I've loved Rocky for 9 years, and to see him still out there kicking ass and taking names, despite the fact that he didn't get those 2 points, he's still shown like a star. And Robbie Eagles is having a fantastic outing. Like, we're finally getting to see really what Robbie Eagles can do as well this tour. It's really putting a spotlight on his ability, on his high flying, on his attitude as well. Because a lot of people in the beginning, they were like, he just looks like he's a sweetheart, you know, like, how are we to believe that he's going to be a jerk? And he's showing you now how he can be a jerk. And it's just, once again, awesome to see. And hats off to everyone on night 2. You all kicked ass and you all took names. And we're also going to discuss, after I discuss night 3 next, we're going to discuss Doki and what I think of him as well. This night 3, Kanemaru versus Tiger Mask, typical older guys, you know, just going at it, nasty, and, you know, just another brilliant match, despite the fact that Tiger Mask won, and my Suzuki-gun heart was a little broken. We had Jonathan Gresham versus Taka Michinoku, which, sidebar, Taka Michinoku's theme music is amazing. Like, I really only heard it for the first time this week during this tour, and it says, "Taka is coming, motherfucker." And I lost my shit laughing, because that is such a Taka-esque thing, and I just love it. And even though Taka didn't get those 2 points, he still went out there and he did an amazing job. Then we've got to talk about Ishimori and Marty Scurll, which, you know, my heart was kind of torn on this one, but I did keep it cutthroat, and I was rooting for Ishimori, which he did end up winning, by the way. Marty and Ishimori went out there and they tore the house down, and it was just beautiful, and definitely check that one out. And so far, my match of this tour is Dragon Lee versus Sho. Even though Sho didn't win this match, he didn't walk away with his pride hurt, I don't think. He has no reason to have his pride hurt at all. They both went out there, and I legitimately thought somebody was going to get killed. Like, there were spots where they're throwing each other into like the 5th row of chairs, and there's no barricades, so there's nothing to stop them, and it's just balls to the wall all over the place. Just insane spots where you're sitting there thinking, how in the hell are these guys both still walking after this? To that end, I just encourage you boys, take care of yourselves and kind of don't go balls to the wall so early. We've got, 20 more days to go of this tournament, or actually 19 to go. So just take it easy on yourselves and stop giving me a freaking heart attack. And so I want to talk about Doki for a minute. He's worked a lot in Mexico, and I found several of his matches on YouTube and watched them before he made his first appearance. And Taichi, you have great taste. I love this guy. I love his attitude of just, I'm out here to eviscerate anybody in my path. He's out there with the lead pipe. He's choking people out with it. He just doesn't give a shit. I'm like, somewhere Suzuki is smiling so hard, and he is so proud of Doki for going out there and taking Despy's place and shining. And just bravo, Doki. Keep it up. And I hope that you stick around. I really do. I hope he sticks around. And I know that he said that he has no boss and that Taichi is who he listens to and who he follows. But I would hope that maybe he could be a permanent addition to Suzuki-gun, because I would love to personally see a Desperado and Doki team going for those junior tag belts, because just think of the nastiness that they are going to put out there when they have those belts. Like, that's just going to be amazing. So I hope that they stick around. And I also had this other idea. In Bullet Club, right, we've got the 3 guys with the nastiest attitudes. Can you tell I'm a heel girl? I just love a good heel that can just be so in your face and just doesn't give a shit. I love that type of heel. So while they go for their respective titles, like while Jay goes for either the IC or the heavyweight belt, and maybe Eagles and ELP are going for junior tags, or one of them is going for the junior heavyweight title, you could have them hold the never 6-man titles and just make everybody's life a living hell trying to get those belts off of them. And they're going to be nasty, and they're going to cheat to win, and it's going to make you want to see someone take those belts off of them. And it could also raise the profile of those belts as well. If you have a former IWGP heavyweight champion holding one of those belts, instantly you elevate the status. And it's a win-win all around in my eyes. So, with all of that being said, I didn't get to watch Night 4 because I had Match UK to record, so I wasn't able to pay attention as much. But I will be bringing you my thoughts on Night 4. So I'm thinking about maybe Night 7 next week. And we're just going to break it down in 3-day chunks. So it's easy for you to digest, because a lot of shows will just sit there and give you like 5 days of results. And it's just overwhelming, and you forget what you wanted to watch anyways. So I just want to break it down to where it's easy enough for you to take in and go to World, search the tag, find the match that you want to watch and check out. So hopefully this tour will continue to be amazing, and good luck. And once again, nothing but positive and good vibes, that no injuries come out of this, because they are legitimately going balls to the wall this tour. And now we're going to go into some not so happy news. I know I said that we're going to try to make this positive, but this has to be discussed. As you all know, I love Killer Cross. I think the world of him. And word has come out this week that he hasn't said anything, and he actually tweeted, "A wise man says nothing," which I applaud him on. Keep it classy. Don't, drag Impact's name or your name through the mud. Let's just keep it classy and let the universe work this out. And I applaud him on that. This brings attention to a problem that Impact has had for a while. That they have these characters and they make you fall in love with them. They make you go all in. You're totally invested in this character. You want to see them do well. And then about a year in, because Cross is going to be with Impact, his debut anyway, June 14th. So about a year in, they kind of drop the ball and they move on to a shinier, newer toy, or they go to an ECW legend or an ex-WWE guy or a Hollywood type, and they're biting off their nose to spite their face. And it's happening over and over and over again. And at this point, if Cross does get his release, then I'm just gonna have to say I'm done, because for you to offer a talent like Cross so little financially, and then while not providing him with that outlet for creative satisfaction that he so richly deserves, it just doesn't look good. And it doesn't feel good either. It doesn't feel good to know that Cross is out there busting his ass in the gym. He's taking care of his body. He's doing cryotherapy, red light therapy, all of this stuff to take care of himself and maintain his body and maintain his health. And the man worked, 20-something matches over 35 days with a hyperextended knee, and the bruise on his leg looked gnarly as hell. Like, I wouldn't even be walking at that point, much less competing and putting on these amazing matches that he has been. And he's amazing with the fans. You feel like you're a friend rather than a fan to him. And he's just a gentleman outside the ring, professional. And for you to treat a guy that's this golden like this, it's not good. It's just not good. And it doesn't feel good as a fan either. Because, like, if you know that somebody has what it takes, like, put all of that aside, his freaking talent alone speaks for itself. His charismatic promos that make you listen. Like, when Killer Cross speaks, in my house, it's everybody shut the fuck up, Cross is speaking. And I'm sure it's that way all around the Impact fan, all around the Impact fan base. And I just hope that they grant him his release and let him go on to maybe Ring of Honor or New Japan. Excuse me, guys. And now we're going to move on to AEW, which AEW announced just yesterday that they're airing on TNT. And that, to me, is just amazing. That we have Rhodes, Rhodes running Rhodes running the alternative to WWE again on Turner Network Television. It's just amazing to see, and I'm just so proud of those boys, and I hope AEW does well. This opens up the floodgates for fans to be able to find an alternative to WWE if they're not happy with what WWE is putting out. And there's more wrestling now, and that's just amazing. So once again, I'm really proud of those boys. And so just way to go. And so hopefully this does well. And I apologize, like I swallowed down the wrong hole, guys, and you know how that is. Like you kind of lose it a little bit. So I think we're good now. And just being with the Bucks for about a decade now, it's just amazing to see. You know, these guys that when they were in TNA couldn't afford McDonald's for lunch, now they have their own company, and they're just doing amazing. And to see Dana and Matt on the red carpet, or I don't know if it was red carpet, I don't know what the color of the carpet was, but to see them happy and smiling and so proud, and to see Britt Baker there as well, and Kenny, even with his purple hair, which I'm still sitting here like, what the hell, Kenny? What's up with the purple hair? It's just beautiful to see, and I'm very proud of them. And AEW, let's hope it is Dynamite, because I think it will be. I think it will be, with the way that they're basing it more on sports-based rather than entertainment-based. That to me is just brilliant. And that brings me to this point. There's a lot of fear in the New Japan fan base that people are going to abandon New Japan for AEW, and there's a lot of fear going on the AEW side as well. So I just have to say this. There's room in your hearts for both companies, and I just want the best for all. So we have one question this week, like I said, for Ask the Switch Babe, and it's from Andrew914, and he asks, what was my favorite year and my least favorite year in Impact Wrestling or TNA? Favorite, I don't have really a favorite year. I just have favorite eras, and my favorite era would be the Asylum era, because that was just amazing. It felt organic, raw, and real. And my least favorite would definitely be the Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff era, because it just sucks, if we're being honest. So that wraps it up for this week. And I apologize once again for sticking with me through a pretty gnarly coughing fit. Next week, we're going to be covering Best of Super Juniors, more AEW news, Ring of Honor, and a whole lot more. So until next week, be well, take care of yourself, and know that you're enough. And while you're at it, follow at SwitchBabePod on both Instagram and Twitter. And you can also follow my personal Twitter at AXIMILI55. And that about wraps it up for this week. Once again, thanks if you're still listening, for sticking through this with me. And have a great week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.